Pete?
I can. I can indeed.
So again, still is supposed to be here.
No, he's not. Really?
So
I thought he quit.
no, so he calls me yesterday, right? And
Yeah.
we go through this whole talk, you know what I'm saying, about da this, da that, I had to start doing some other shit. I'm like, bro, so you not gonna tell us? You just gonna just, you know what I mean? You just gonna do what you're doing, and nobody had no idea what's happening. And so even this morning he called me. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be on there at 12. I'm gonna set it off. We gonna do the thing. Blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. Like, let's just do it." I called him at 11:50. I said, "Still, bro, you gonna come on the stream?" No, I called him. We talked this morning. Then I called him 11:50. He phone. Don't say nothing.
Fascinating. He's an interesting character. You know that? People
Yeah,
don't give him credit for as interesting a man as he is. Like a paradoxical enigma. What's it? A mystery wrapped in an enigma? Something like that. He's a very unique guy.
yeah. Um, no ceilings live lunch hour.
Yeah, I needed to have a cocktail to hold it together through that story.
Yeah, nah, this finna be one of those conversations. Um,
His glasses Malone 2 Street. Affirmative.
no ceilings live lunch hour. Look at the link below. Subscribe to the No Ceilings podcast. It's right below. Listen to the latest episode of No Ceilings. Click the like button. Um, Make sure y'all tap into the chat. Let me know y'all around, y'all hanging, and we go get into it. The topic of this conversation, right? One of my homeboys, Manny Mansour, he's one of the streamers on Ace Boys Worldwide. Shout out to the Fig Community World. We're supposed to be doing a live stream, but the homies just bullshit. They tell me certain days and they never show up. So, we stuck promoting No Ceilings, the podcast. But that's the traditional thing when you mess with the homies just be BSing. But Mansour was telling me a story, and he was telling me a really crazy story about how his homegirl got into a situation with her kid around, and some random gang members end up stomping out, her and her kid. And it was a crazy story.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And then he adjusted the conversation to being upset at the streets. Like he started to blame the streets for the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, like Pun, Manny, Problem, AD, anybody who really know me, we talking about 20 years of a relationship, they know the streets is near and dear to my heart. Now, I'm not silly. I don't think for 2 seconds the streets love me. I'm not confused. You know what I'm saying? I get what's happening. But I also understand the streets is our experience. It's our background. It's what culturally give us our boundaries and the things that's important to us. So I hold that near and dear. It's everything I am. Like when somebody, makes fun of it, or like let's say an academics or a Flacco, when they play with it, it bothers me. You know what I mean? Because it's everything that I am. Like it's the things that I hold near and dear to my heart. Now the streets, they have their own flaws for sure. You know what I mean? They definitely have their own flaws, and you're gonna have the problems you're gonna have, and that's what it is. But it means something to me, which is why hip hop means so much to me. It's the culture of those streets. That's why it's important. You know what I'm saying? So Manny and JU, my homie Juan from Long Beach, they go on this rant, just talking down on the streets. F the streets, da 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 da. And I'm like, why are y'all antagonizing me saying this? Like every time I hear somebody say the streets is a myth, they're antagonizing me. Like, why are you saying that? It'll be dudes like, let's say, a Troy Avenue who spent their whole career talking about selling drugs, getting into problems, and living his life. But soon as it's time to actually believe in the accountability that comes with being a man in this environment, now it's a myth. And that bothers me. You know what I mean? When I see people poking at it, it bothers me. When people play with this West Coast culture, it bothers me. Like I get offended, cause like beyond, cause it's like you playing with something you don't understand. And even talking to the homie Manny, right? It's like this has nothing to do with the streets. Like Manny is from a gang, like I'm from a gang. Manny is from Rolling 20 Crips. I'm from 7th Street Watch Crip, but he from Rolling 20 Crips in Long Beach.
Yeah.
So every time he starts to talk shit about the streets, I'll be like, why don't you diss your own hood? Like if you feel that way, if you really hate the streets like you say, why don't you just diss on 20s? Say I'm not a 20, it's ridiculous, and I hate the people. I hate this. And you know what? He'll never do it. So that's why I know it's a troll. Even in our group chats, it's just a troll to make me bother.
That might be very well true. I think there's also maybe a component of it where people, it's like innately in human nature, like in this narrow element of it, like what you were just describing, the gentleman from Long Beach, where it's very easy to objectively observe everybody else, but then when it comes to you, it's well, it's different. Well, that's not, you know what I mean? Like there's that intrinsic bias of your own world that doesn't get applied to everybody, outside of it. You know what I'm saying?
And
That was pretty clumsy the way I tried to put that out there.
I get it. I get it. But I still don't get it. Like, I don't get them. I don't get them. Like, I'm like you would think that the street teaches us it's okay to hit women. And I'm like, I've never heard that. I'm talking about, I know some of the raunchiest street guys in the history of street guys. I never met a dude that said it's okay to hit a woman or this is practiced or taught. I don't meet people who say it's okay to sleep with somebody else's wife. Don't get me wrong, it's pieces of crap in suburban lifestyle, like it's pieces of crap in street lifestyle. What I appreciate about the streets more than everything is the sense of accountability. Like the things that nobody mentions, right? Like if you don't take care of your kids, you'll be a joke in the hood. Like nobody talks about that. Like that's a real thing, and everybody from it knows that it's true. Like if you don't take care of your kids, if you a dude who don't raise your kids, people will make fun of you. You become a joke.
The laughter isn't as audible as it should be then.
Well, I don't think the laughter is as audible in any lifestyle for a deadbeat parent. I don't think in suburbia lifestyle is as listen, nothing is louder than the streets. Nothing is more shameful than the streets. Nothing at all is more shameful than the streets. The streets will shame you louder than suburban lifestyle. Like, you see like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you feel me? And like, Will's dad wasn't taking care of him. Prince's dad wasn't taking care of him. Nobody was loudly talking crap about him. Let that been a ghetto house. Let that been a ghetto house that's in the streets, right? And you don't take care of your kid. That's the first thing they're going to tell you when you walk in. You see how they was talking to Uncle Lou? That's not cool. We would have said something the first minute he walked in. Yeah, your kid over there. You don't take care of your kid. Like, that's the thing. The streets hold you accountable. If you a rat, like, let's talk about like a real rat. Like somebody who really is a rat. Like, there's a lot of people that keep just talking about what a snitch is, and it lacks any level of depth, right? A rat is somebody who tells the police on another crime to not be held accountable for their crime. That's it.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Mm-hmm. It's old people in the community that tell the police whenever they see a crime, often. Nobody calls them a snitch. That's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah.
You don't see people calling Miss Johnson a snitch because something happened. Like, nobody cares. You just keep that from in front of Miss Johnson's house. And I'm just getting sick and tired of people acting like the streets is this place, or like once, like they made it, like let's say Manny and Jay, you made it in life, and now they talking bad about our us growing up, as if they got these bad teachers and they had to break themselves. Like, they didn't have to break themselves from no bad teaching. everything they are, the responsibility they feel for their family. So they're telling me this story about what happened to their friend. And I'm like, okay, well, if y'all really are so anti-street, you feel me? Why don't y'all call the police? The first thing they telling me is, well, her family, which is another set of gang members, you feel me, is going to handle it. Oh, these guys gonna handle it. Wait a minute. I thought y'all just was knocking the streets. Why would you want that type of justice? Well, what else is supposed to happen? Why don't you call the police like a proper authority? Why don't you reform a proper authority?
The streets, by and large, are they exist, like, broadly speaking, between the cracks within the system, by and large. So if you don't like how it is within the cracks of the system, then be on the surface level of the system and operate as the system operates.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's like you can't be a deserter from the military if you aren't enlisted. You're just a guy just a guy passing by.
So shout out to everybody in the chats. Sad, Joey, Squishy, what's happening? Welcome back. Juice, Daryl, man, I appreciate you being here. Juice, CE, Jap, what up? Rossi, CE. I don't think Glasses is too street. Honestly, I think he's smarter than we give him credit. If Glasses wasn't the crib, he would have been held in high regard like a professor. Maybe. Maybe. But I'm proud of everything that I went through. You feel me? I'm proud of everything that I survived. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I'm proud of the community I come from. Like I always been proud of it. You know what I mean? Like I'm proud of the struggle. I'm proud of the people that come from my environment. But it makes me feel like people think I'm too street. Like when I listen to Charlemagne, like in their mind, they think I see hip hop as this place that, like, I understand hip hop is street urban culture personified through the arts and elements. So like I get it, right? But again, you feel me? I get that it gives it gives people voiceless a voice. Like suburban black people have had a voice in mainstream media for a long time. You feel me? Like even if
leave Don Lemon alone.
No, shout out to Don. Shout out to Don, right? No, that's not what I'm saying, bro. I'm saying like it's not Don as much as, you know what I'm saying? It's everything else.
Yeah.
We've always had Theo Huxtable. Like we've always had Theo Huxtable. We've always had Theo Huxtable. When did we not have Theo Huxtable? When? We always had Eddie Winslow. We always had that voice. That suburban black lifestyle has always been represented on TV. On mainstream media, the ghetto didn't have a voice. The ghetto was speechless. Nobody would give the ghetto a voice. Hip hop did that. So I protected for those people because they need the voice. Me and the homie Micho was just talking about basketball. You're not going to get a lot of ghetto kids in the NBA anymore because now the game has been involved into just money. So you're getting middle-class people who are trained way better, way harder, but they don't have a heart. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like this world getting worse and worse every day. And I'm just disgusted with all of the stuff that I see. Like I'm disgusted.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, all I can think of right now is that Norm Steele may or may not agree or disagree with what you're saying, but we'll never know.
Yeah. He was supposed to be here, but of course, he just BS like he always do. And that's a still tradition. And then he tried to call me and act like he didn't get on the phone. What's crazy is when we came up with this stuff to promote the podcast, we got on the phone. We had a serious conversation.
I think I was on that call.
He never called you to say he wasn't going to make it. He never called you to say, hey, man, I got a different change of plans. He never made that call. He never made a call. Never. But in his mind, he is so, but I tell Still that all the time. I'm like, bro, you do the worst job of communicating what's happening. You don't do a really good job of communicating what's happening. You expect everybody to know what's going on with you, and you didn't. He's like, well, I told you. No, you didn't. Well, I thought I told. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you did not. You did not tell me nothing. You didn't say nothing. You know what I mean? And for sure you didn't tell Pete after you promised Pete you was going to be here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. At noon, you promised Pete, you was gonna be here Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon. You never called him and said you was making a change of plans. That's the same thing I be on Pun about. I be on Pun hard. Pun to tell me, Glasses, let's do this conversation. Man, we're gonna have this conversation today. I'm like, all right, Pun, let's do it. And he never calls me. And they so used to just being full of shit that is just standard.
Yeah. The audience, enjoy this while it lasts. A month from now, you might just be stuck sitting here talking to me by myself, and that's gonna suck.
No, but
So don't get stuck. Don't get caught up in that trap.
But I'm gonna tell you, I'm not, because if I gave you my word that I'm gonna do something like of this, again, the commitment is the thing to me. Like, we've been off schedule on doing podcasts, you know, and promoting the podcast. Don't get me wrong. Again, this is the No Ceilings live lunch hour, supporting of the No Ceilings podcast. Link below. Make sure you subscribe to the No Ceilings podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. And this right here, we do this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to expand on the podcast. Noon Pacific Standard Time every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Shout out to everybody in the chats. Make sure I know this is the chat. Make sure I know you in the chat. You feel me? Is this your podcast? No, my podcast is the link below, Schwab. It's a link below. It's an audio podcast. I don't really I don't have a visual component. We just did this stream to promote the podcast. That's it. I mean, but yeah, the podcast is below. ABP Network. The people want me, you, and Problem. That you don't do any. You tell me you're gonna do a time, and then you never show up. You say we're gonna do something, then you never send a link. This is standard. And then y'all blame me publicly. That's Pun. So you can't pay no attention to Pun.
I was like, so we actually got one of the parties here on the show. Oh, okay.
Well, okay, Pun is, so the Pun's credit. So Charlemagne wanted me to podcast, which is the audio component we do to the link below. Pun wants me to live stream. Okay. I really fight it, bro, because I don't like how people talk about each other. Like, I want to fight certain homies. You know what I mean? Like, that shit ain't making no content to me sometimes. Like, I be meaning what I say to the homies. Like, I mean it. You know what I mean? And I want good for all my homies too. Like, that's the difference too. I really want good for them. Like, I know where we all came from. Like, so it's important to me. But we supposed to be doing a live stream with me, Pun, and Problem. Problem is being a fucking asshole somewhere doing asshole shit.
Wait,
Pun is gonna tell us a time. Yes, the rapper Problem.
Who's that?
Yeah,
is he the same guy as that other guy?
Problem. Which other guy?
There's a guy with a different name, looks just like Problem.
I don't know. It's probably Problem.
Wasn't his name like Tyler something or something like that?
No. Problem is Problem.
Who's the other guy that I get confused with? Problem was very similar, who has a different name but very similar. Everything.
Jason Martin. You so stupid.
That's right. That's the guy. No wonder we can't figure out who's coming on the show.
I hate when y'all do that shit. No, cuz so Pun is the guy that wants me to live stream, and obviously I'm down. Like I you know, man, it took me a minute, but I'm like, all right, bro, like, let's do it. I'm gonna do it with my partners. You know what I mean? I don't even worry about no business. Let's just do it and see what we come up with. You feel me? That be my plan. I'll be like, let's just see what we come up with. Pun do probably 6 live streams a day, so he don't remember. Wow. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like the Fig Community world, cuz, is huge. Like,
sure, it's
like a circle of like 8 sets and shit. They got a lot of like fly shit going on, so they don't really have like, he don't remember to do this shit. You know what I mean? And I'm being a motherfucking rapper, and Problem is being crazy always, which is just feisty for no reason.
Call Jason then.
Yeah, exactly. I need to fucking call Jason. You right. So again, you know what I mean? It's like, but just let me get back to the point, because I'm losing my train of thought. But no, it's like Pete, do I really come across too street? That's the point I'm thinking.
No, I don't think in the classical sense. No, I think maybe that you might bump into some people who like might say you like maybe a bit of an apologist. I kind of look.
Oh, that's a great point, because that's what Manny says. Manny says I'm a street apologist.
I would just kind of like to know, like, how do you appraise that kind of thin line between in spite of and because of. You know what I mean?
Well, again, like right is right and wrong is wrong.
Sure.
And it really even the gray area is narrow. It ain't deep. It ain't thick. Like it's simple. Like um like what happened with Manny's friend, right? The homegirl. Like, are they wrong for jumping her? That's a little gray to me, right? Because let's say if you start getting the best of my homeboy, right? Y'all in the fight, you start getting the best of my homeboy, and you ain't my homegirl, you know what I mean? Or you ain't my homeboy. Look, let's say you start getting the best of my old lady, and we don't know each other.
Is that what happened?
I don't know.
God damn it. I looked down like I could see up on the screen to figure out who the hell that was. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Who the hell is that?
Some guy. I had a leak in the crib, man. My whole damn garage.
There you go. The nigga, like you like my dad, bro. Like you like the dad that's supposed to pick you up and never show up and always got a bunch of excuses on why you never
happened.
show
you know
up.
What you, is?
You were at the barber getting
you
that
the
nice.
Dude that don't listen to what, no, instead of letting me finish, I had a leak in my garage. I went in the garage to get my shoes, and the water was coming down the damn ceiling.
No,
that's nonsense.
What that was. You were at the barber getting all pretty. You look fantastic. Very pretty. Very pretty.
I wish that
was. Plug the barber. Plug that guy. We want to know who that guy is.
I wish that what it was. I got to get Martell over here. I had to shut the water off.
You over here looking like Bald Bull.
Well, I got to look like Bald Bull, bro, because I'm clean shaven. Every once in a while, I got to cut that stuff off, man.
You look terrific.
Still, am I too street, honestly?
Yeah, you kind of do a little too much sometimes.
Okay, so for example, what do I do that's too street that you feel is not fair?
Man, you always talking about your affinity for cripping.
How?
Your affinity for cripping.
Should I not be proud of being a Crip?
Well, yeah, I didn't say that, but you put it in everywhere though, bro. You always talking about your cripping.
Because everything you do as a Crip is cripping.
Yeah,
everything you do as a Crip is cripping.
Well, everything you do, bro, is cripping. Even when it comes time to do some charitable stuff, you bring cripping up in it.
Because I'm a Crip giving away things.
Yeah, see, even Ace-Boy Manny, the homie Ace-Boy Manny says you over the top. I tell you sometimes.
I'm asking you, what is over the top? What do I do that's wrong?
Sometimes you put a little too much. You put a little too much sauce on it. Sometimes.
How? Where's the extra seasoning?
Yeah, well, your thing is always about cripping, dog. You treat cripping like a religion.
He's a faithful Crip.
Yeah, he's a very faithful Crip.
I'm saying, listen, cripping is crazy, man. Everything you do is a Crip. Cripping don't mean you have to snatch old ladies' purses. Like if I was like everything I do is the mark of a Crip.
Well, it don't have to be. Sometimes it could be the mark of you just being glasses. You being Charles sometimes. You feel what I'm saying?
But Charles is a Crip. That's like saying you could separate being Norman Steele from being a black man.
Bro, it's like when we did Tupac Must Die. It didn't have to be called Tupac Must Die.
What else could it have been called?
It could have been the story of Orlando's story, or Orlando side or something.
Why Tupac died?
But you just wanted to just offend people so bad, dog. It was just like you just wanted to just bother people.
That's not street. That's good marketing.
And that's not true though, still.
Yeah, it is a little bit, bro. I'm with you and everything, bro, but it is.
I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'm not gonna lie to you, like publicly or privately, right? I'm not gonna tell you a fib. That's not why. I didn't want to offend people. If I called it Orlando's story, Orlando Anderson, bro, that takes a minimum part of his life and makes it his whole life story.
Bro, you know what you did? It's pretty much like the dude said. You dug Tupac up and just disrespected him again. Because a lot of people, bro, you have to remember, hold on, listen. You know how you tell me sometimes that I assume everybody's as smart as me? You assume that people go get your stuff to you. They just looking and saying, man, Tupac must die. Damn, you know, that's fucked up. A lot of people love Tupac, dog, and they was pissed off about that.
Never act to cater to the stupidity of others.
Exactly. I can't cater to your ignorance.
I just think sometimes, bro, you are a little over the top with it, dog.
Yeah, but it's
I
not.
think that's a different question than what we're talking about right
yes.
now. It seems like everybody else is saying largely something in the vein of Glasses is sort of an apologist for for everything bad that goes along with everything good within a street environment, not necessarily the way he projects himself.
Well, see, Peter, my thing is this, right? Like if somebody gets shot, like when a guy got killed in the excuse me, I should know who this. I should remember this. But what's the brother
Like
that
the
got killed?
boxer?
The brother that got killed in the Roscoe's.
Oh,
P&B Rock.
P&B Rock. You said, well, you can't be dangling steaks in front of pit bulls. You excuse these niggas for a lot of the bullshit they be doing.
But that's not an excuse. I think
this is different.
Okay, that's a great point. Like, because that's
it is an excuse
hold
for them,
on,
bro.
Hold on. Let's talk. Let's get into it. I'm glad you said that. No Ceilings Live, the lunch hour. Make sure you click the link below. Subscribe to the No Ceilings podcast. It's the only reason why I do this. This is the lunch hour where we actually expand on the No Ceilings podcast. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time. Let's take the P&B Rock situation and let's deal with that and my thoughts on it. Go ahead, Pete.
Real quick, this sort of is adjacent to my in spite of versus because of thing, and I'll say this in your favor. There's a difference between endorsing the reality and acknowledging the reality.
Exactly. So
here I think is where you go.
Here's the reality. The reality is what them dudes did is against the law. So if I wasn't saying that should be against the law, I've never in my life said that shouldn't be against the law. I've never in my life said that. I've never in my life rallied for those brothers to be out of prison for the crimes they committed. I think society has to have laws so everybody has balance. I have nothing to say. If they commit a crime, they will be punished for the crime. You're asking me morally what do I understand and what do I understand about the streets? When you go around poor people and your goal is to actually be over the top, to be gluttonous, to be bravado, I think there is a stance that can happen with poor people lashing out at you.
So the man can't go to a restaurant with his jewelry on, bro?
Why would you go anywhere with a bunch of poor people with $250,000 worth of jewelry?
He happened to be out here, dog. He happened to be here and he wanted to go to Roscoe's.
There's a million.
They have a safe in the hotel room.
There's a million Roscoe's.
So the thing is, it could have happened to him in Hollywood, though. And you would have had the same stance on it. You can't be.
Here's a great example. Pit bulls. I'll give a far more extreme example than this. For me personally, just my life as a child. My family, my grandfather had a pant load of money. He died last Sunday, all the above, whatever. He was 98 years old. We went down to Zihuatanejo, Mexico on what was at the time one of the 100 largest private yachts in the world that he owned. My grandma, my mom, they all have jewelry falling out of their ears at that time in my life. They didn't go around the marketplace in Zihuatanejo touristing, trying to get enchiladas, wearing $250,000 of fucking jewelry.
So what is their right? It's their jewelry.
It's your right. Yeah, it's their right. Sure, you have all the rights in the world. That does not somehow insulate you from all the consequences in the world. There's a difference between right to and judgment.
Exactly. See, that's why I'm glad I'm a concealed carry guy for people with them stupid ass thoughts.
You have too much sense to wear that type of jewelry in that type of community.
Well, the thing is, if I'm in Puerto Rico, let's say I go to Puerto Rico, let's say I'm in Miami and I got a chain that I like wearing, you buy jewelry to wear. You don't buy chains to just keep in your room and hide.
That's
okay. Let's put it this way: you buy jewelry.
Rock was just looking like a rapper. He was just looking like a rapper. If he wouldn't have had no jewelry on, y'all have been saying he broke. You know how black people do. You know how we do.
So again, you worried about what other people think.
That's a part of his costume. He's a rapper. He's an entertainer.
Okay, so guess what happens when you actually
He wasn't filming a video at the restaurant?
Yes, he's just
an entertainer. He had his jewelry on, and plus looking at the jewelry he had on, it wasn't too over the top.
It was over the top. It looked like $250,000. It was $250,000 in jewelry.
It was his to wear. And he should have been able to do so without the threat of somebody taking his life.
And that's his legal right to do that. But guess what? If you do that around poor people, somebody may decide to actually up their situation.
Here's another example. It is there is not a hate crime law in this country. There's hate crime escalators, but there's not a speech law. I could run around the projects, any city in this country, and start calling everybody who lives there the N-word to their face. It's my right.
And then that's when you go get your ass whooped. That's a
lot. So my rights then and responsible behavior then are disassociated then.
If you have,
but not running around with $250,000 jury on.
See, it's a difference now. If I'm going to the Nicholson Gardens doing some walkthrough stuff, no, I'm not going to have on a bunch of jewelry.
Why not?
And stuff
How
like that.
far different?
Because I'm not. But if I go to a restaurant, bro, and I'm going to go eat with my woman, and I got a watch on, and I'm pretty sure he was going to get robbed anyway, even if he didn't have the jewelry on. Because you know what? That's what Negroes do. That's what they do. They go rob somebody, dog, and they go put in the blame because I'm poor. Because I'm poor. Don't nobody want to work.
You the worst type of black man, bro.
So the people that work their ass off, they just go out there and be victim to the people that don't want to work. And if you tell them same people, you talk to these same people and say, hey, bro, McDonald's hiring right now. They paying $20 an hour to post. Man, I'm not going to go work for no $20 an hour. I'd rather go jack for it. Taking the hard work.
Worst type of Negro, bro.
No, P&B Rock wasn't wrong, dog. They was wrong when they were
right where they should be. Nobody said anybody was wrong.
You made an excuse for him, though.
No, I told you why it happened.
It shouldn't happen, though.
It should have
been talking against
that. Now again,
you did package it as bad judgment, which is adjacent to wrong at minimum.
No, it's just bad judgment. It's not wrong or right.
Bad judgment.
All right, man. So let me ask you this: if Jay-Z wears his U-blow, and he happens to stop off at the gas station off of the 105 freeway over there on Central, and he get robbed, are you gonna say, "Oh, shouldn't have been dangling steak in front of pit bulls"? He's supposed to take his watch off and put it up under the seat or something.
Yes.
Man, ain't nobody doing all that, man.
And Chris Tucker take his watch off when Debo walked up to the porch.
The thing is, dog, you only feel that way because you think there's a level of intelligence and sophistication that comes with human, right? That's your biggest problem. Because if I told you, hey, you walking over here where all of these lions are hyenas at, and I told you don't carry that steak, you would get it, right? Because you would understand the innate nature of those animals to eat, correct? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, like, so if you went in the backyard with a bunch of Rottweilers and then you had on a sleeve of steaks, right? A sleeve of steaks. And I'm like, hey, still take that sleeve of steaks off because you're going back there with my dogs. You would understand that, right? Because you understand these animals have this natural urge to eat, correct?
The thing is, bro.
Hold on, just answer the question.
Yeah, but I think that's different.
Hold on, just answer the question. Yes, right? You would take it off because you understand the innate nature of those animals' hunger and desire.
Yes, but I don't think he was somewhere bad. I don't think he was somewhere he should have got robbed like that, murder.
Hold on. The problem with you and people like Manny is you think because your life is cool. Manny thinks because he's traveling the world that everybody else's life is cool or everybody else can make their life cool. So you forget the innate nature that both of y'all suffer from before you start living these middle-class existence. The thing that made you sell dope, the things that made Manny steal, those things still exist, even though you moved your family to Downey, put your kid at St. John Bosco and USC, and now he's a professional football player. Well, you asshole, was people still doing the same thing you was doing when you brought your raggedy ass from out here from Cleveland to Long Beach.
It's you know what?
Hold on.
And you know what? I'm gonna tell you. And you know what?
Hold on. It's people still selling dope. It's people still selling dope. It's people still defending everything they want to survive. But somehow you middle-class Negroes forget how it go. That's what bothers me about people like you and Manny. Manny did a bunch of stuff to try to get ahead. You used to sell dope to get ahead because you feel like your life didn't change. Now nobody else should go through it, and then you forget what that was like. Well,
you know, one thing I never did, though. One thing I never did is go out and take stuff. I went out and work for mine.
Don't interrupt me with my rant. You ain't work shit. You was a criminal. You was selling dope. You piece of shit. So let's get back to the facts. Hold on. When you was starving and you was eating them 2 packs of top ramen at that city college, and you had to do what you had to do to put some food, you understood.
Running that
I hate you Negroes who come from this lifestyle, and then you wake up one day and now you got your little cozy life, and you think everybody else's life changed, or you changed your own life. No, you didn't change your own life. You got away with the bullshit you was doing because you could have been in prison for 10 years for doing it. Same for Manny. So y'all need to figure this out before y'all start getting on y'all high horse and pointing your finger down at poor people. Hold on. And remember the time your ass was poor and what you did to survive. That's the problem. So y'all think I'm too strict because I still remember that. Still remember that.
We all remember.
Hold on. It's not called growing up, Manny. It's not called growing up. You got lucky. Your opportunities changed. Still got lucky. His opportunities changed. Both of y'all could have been in prison 10 years on parole for the stuff y'all was doing. And you could have been in jail for the rest of your life. And it could have altered everything you was doing with your life.
And because of that, we made decisions to change your
life. You didn't make no decisions. You got lucky and you didn't get held accountable. Hold on. You didn't make a decision. You didn't get held accountable for the crimes you were committing. And then you talking shit about the people who do. Shut your ass up.
Now, let me ask you something. So my son was in a place where he was supposed to be. He was in Hollywood. Somebody comes and puts guns up to him and takes his chain that he worked hard for. They take his chain from him. Take his chain, and he did what I told him to. Somebody ever got a gun on you, got the drop on you, give it up. It ain't worth it. We got insurance on it. So he got his money back or whatever, but so he's not supposed to have a chain. He shouldn't have had a chain, so he was wrong. And the criminals was right because he was dangling steak from him, even though he was out in Hollywood.
Still, there are laws in place to punish people for breaking the law.
They never go catch them people, G, and that's the problem. There's Negroes like you to make excuses for these people.
Hold on. I'm not, because you don't hear me making excuses for the guys that got in trouble at Roscoe's. I'm not saying they should be out of prison. I'm not saying the guys who did the stuff to Pop Smoke. Hold on. I'm not saying those guys shouldn't go to prison. I don't have nothing to say because that comes with hold on, still. That comes with the territory of surviving outside of the law. That's why it comes with the territory of surviving outside of the law. So I'm not making no excuses. I'm telling your stupid ass, stop being gluttonous. Stop walking around here when you know it's people starving. Hold on. It is being gluttonous.
That's not
you
being
have
gluttonous.
A bunch of stuff on your neck and it's people starving. You a fucking dick.
So they should just eliminate the jury industry, period. Because somebody else gonna feel bad then.
Do you understand why the jury industry was invented? You understand why the jury? Hold on.
I'm not gonna wear Jordans no more. I'm gonna famous shoes. So the motherfucker that don't want to get off his ass.
Do you understand why the jury industry was invented? It was invented for people to move their valuables without having to carry them. It wasn't meant for you coons to go out and show everybody you got something.
No, that's not it. If people want to wear a piece of jewelry, they should be able to.
You know what? Legally they can.
Want to go rob them.
Legally they can, but guess what? It's people starving. So if you don't care about humans, humans don't care about your dumb ass.
You know what? It's the thing.
You don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Instead of holding them accountable, you make
a person that wears $250,000 worth of jewelry around people who struggling to pay their rent in the area where people struggling to pay their rent. You can't tell me you care about humans.
They should be able to just rob people. They should just be able to.
I didn't say that. Again, I'm not contesting the law. I'm never contesting the law. I'm not contesting the law.
But you're making excuses for him, though.
No, I'm telling you. I'm not making excuses. I'm telling you what's wrong with humanity. And you fighting to understand what's wrong with you.
No, I'm not. I'm a very good humanitarian. You know,
no, you're not. You're a horrible human. You're a horrible human.
A lot of stuff.
I donate a lot of stuff
to people. I'm always doing good stuff.
Go ahead, Pete.
That's my problem. No, I'm too nice to these motherfuckers.
No, you're not.
That's why I am. I'm too nice for them motherfuckers.
Dudes from down there, like you don't. If you're in an environment where everybody has very little, it doesn't require an astronomical amount to separate yourself. If your goal is to appear as though you've separated yourself from that level of achievement.
Okay, I got a question. I got a question right here, right? This is my question for you, G. How come when you first got on, you had to roll around in a Bentley? Why come you didn't go get a Honda? Since you care about so much about flossing in front of people, and you would pull up in the hood in front of people, just dipping on them and burr all up in their grass and shit.
Whose idea is that?
It was obviously yours. You was driving it.
That was Mac 10's idea.
Are you gonna lie?
No, it was Mac 10's idea, but she was doing it. Why you didn't take a stance then and say, Mac, I don't want that car. I'm gonna go get me a Honda Accord.
No, I wouldn't got the car. So again,
were you slipping and stupid with it though?
Okay, listen, I'll tell you the truth with that. Right? I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up.
Shades on.
Here you go. So let's talk about it. So let's talk about it, right? And that's true. Shout out to Ace Boy Manny. Right. This guy glasses was driving around in a $200,000 Bentley in hoods across the country. That is a fact because I took advice from somebody else. because I wanted a success item of the community. I came to Mac 10. I said, I want to buy a Rag 57. I want to put an LS motor in it. I want to put deuces on it because that's a status in the community. I wanted the status of the community. Mac wanted me to have a status above the community. Again, a lack of human decency. Again, and Mac was right because he's right. It made people in the community see me as a step above, but that's not how you should be saw. And I'm going to tell you why I was right about getting a Rag 57 and putting wheels and customizing it. Because the difference is a Bentley is only a Bentley in Watts. A Bentley is only a Bentley in Compton. A Bentley is only a Bentley where poor people are at, right? Wherever poor people are at. But a Rag 57 is a Rag 57 in Watts, Compton, and in Beverly Hills. When I would go to Beverly Hills in that Bentley, it was just a blue car. It didn't matter. Guess what? You lost. You lost something. But if I would have had that Rag 57, the old white men in Beverly Hills, Pete, the old white men in Newport Beach, they would have saw that and thumbs up me. So again, I was right. But again, I listened to humans and they fucking lackluster ever in how they care about other black people. And care about other black people.
You can care about other black people. The way you care about black people is by holding people accountable.
Yes, the legal system.
I'm gonna tell you something. Hold on, let me say something.
Hold on, still.
Let me finish, bro. Hold on, let me say what I gotta say. I come from a level of poverty neither one of y'all can understand. I come from the east side of Cleveland. Ain't no place in California like that. No place. The Knicks and Guards look like a suburb compared to where I'm from. You've been out there before. Sure. If I was able to work my way up, I did a lot of things I'm not proud of.
You didn't work your way up.
I worked my way up. Yes,
you
I
didn't
did.
You got away with crime.
You know what? And I atone for that. I'm pretty sure
you didn't atone for that.
I ask God.
Don't turn yourself into the police. If you Mr. Accountable, you popping all this. Don't turn yourself into the police. Mr. Policeman, go to the police and say, Mr. Policeman, if I was out here.
If I made it out, anybody else can.
Hold up.
Still, I think like a decent parallel to what Glasses is saying. It's like you go down like the fraternity row by USC, wherever that is. You go drive by there on a Friday night or whatever. What do you see? You see 100 19-year-old girls, shit-faced plastered in some slut-themed outfit, just waiting to get a train run on them by a bunch of other drunk kids who don't know what the fuck they're doing. There's a difference between saying that's really dumb for that girl to do and, oh, yeah, I absolutely endorse that.
Exactly.
Involuntary train. Like, those aren't really the same thing.
Shout out to Squishy Crutchfield. Pass the collection plate. G, go get you some unpasteurized milk and relax. These dudes, Squishy, thanks for the super chat. Shout out to y'all. Again, we got the super chats popping. Make sure you click in. Donate to the collection plate. It feel like I'm just upset, but I'm tired of black men when they finally make it from out of poverty, pointing down at poor black people.
No, nobody's not pointing down. We just don't. I'm to hold people accountable for what they do.
You're not holding them accountable because you're not on a jury. You're not on a jury of people that's putting them in prison for 32 to life. That's who holds them accountable. They don't need your fucking jurisdiction. They don't need your fucking judgment. God damn, it's a fucking white system. It's a legal system in place that's going to take away their life, and they don't need you to sit up around and
I'm going to tell you something. Everybody suffers because of these Negroes. Now people not going to want to go to that Roscoe's no more because they scared for their life. They scared they walk up in there with some nice shoes on or whatever. They go get robbed. They might lose their life, dog. It's like they didn't even have to kill the dude, dog. They murdered that man.
Shout out to OG Wime. I for sure was motivated by the Bentley. Man, I'm glad you are. It made Mac 10 right, but it's 1,000 ways to motivate people, and we have successes in our own community that represent the same thing and even represent the same thing to other white people.
You wasn't exactly turning it down either. You didn't say, Mac, I don't want that.
I did tell him I don't want it. You better ask him.
Because you push as hell. When you want to get away with something,
ask him.
When you want to get away with something,
ask him still. Ask him, did I say I didn't want it?
You should have refused it. You should have threw the keys.
Ask him, did I say I didn't want it?
Because you sure look like you was enjoying it to me.
I treated it like a cutlass. So how did I enjoy it? I used to run that
guess what, Peter,
I used to treat everybody. I didn't care about that car.
$500 and $1,000 shades. What's up with the $1,000 shades? So
what do you mean $1,000 shades?
You was walking down New Orleans in the Third Ward with $1,000 shades on.
pulling up with a Bentley and 4 chains is crazy. I never wore a chain. He was just telling AD 2 weeks ago to drive his Mercedes spaceships to the projects because he should. G don't be tripping on trip. Shout out to Lou from the Lou. G Malone don't be tripping on Twitter. Still on some bullshit today, cuz yes, he is. He always is.
You know what it is, man? Real quick. I'm gonna tell you something. Are opportunities limited in the neighborhood? Hell yeah, they is, dog. But they took that man's life in there. You justifying it.
I'm not justifying. I'm telling you why it happened.
He's saying it's like
so he just couldn't.
We need to move past the justifying it thing. I don't think that.
Yeah, like y'all got to stop saying justify because I understand.
Glasses, real quick.
Go ahead.
Would it be different if the people that you are objecting to approached dissatisfaction with commonplace behavior in the streets that they participated in yesteryear with a posture of contrition when they addressed it? Like, look, I know I did this. I wish I didn't do it. I was wrong for doing it. It shouldn't be happening. It's bad for the community writ large. Like, does that come off differently to you as a presentation?
No, because that's how I talk about selling drugs. See, I don't put myself above people that's doing what I was doing at one time.
Oh, I never put myself above.
Yes,
people.
you did.
No, I don't.
Yes, you did, because you're not pointing down at yourself.
I don't put people. You know what?
Why don't you go turn yourself in, Mr. Accountability?
Man, because I've already I got away with what I did.
You got away.
So I'm not about to put myself in. Hell no. Plus, the statute of limitations don't pass for that. They'll tell me, we can't charge you, sir, because it's been more than 10 years.
Go down there and tell them, Mr. Accountability.
I ain't going to go do stuff, and I do
tell them, hey,
I'm more than made up for the stuff I did.
Go tell them, hey, sir, I really didn't want to do that. You know, I think you guys should put me in jail.
I'm more than made up for the stuff I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did every day.
No, you have not.
Running youth football leagues, helping little kids out.
Full of it still.
Helping kids out. Little kids jumping on me.
Full of it still. Full of it. I got my man Punisher. My man Punisher came through. Let's see if I can.
See how you got the stuff in there, man.
This nigga G. Hey, G, you working all this yourself?
Yeah.
Ooh, what's up, y'all? What's going on, man?
What's up, Punisher?
What's going on? You ain't here talking that shit. I hear you, G. I hear you.
Okay, did Manny tell you the story that happened to the homegirl?
At Lakewood?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Manny's telling me the story and I'm feeling bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling bad, bro. I'm like, damn, that's sad. You know what I mean? Like happened to her baby and her, you know what I mean? So forth. And then Manny just goes on this tirade talking about the streets. I hate the streets. What do the streets got to do with some people that jumped on a girl? Like, this is not something that's taught in the streets. Like your OG homie say, hey, go jump on a girl if she gets the best of your friend. Right. Like, that's a mistake that some men made, feel me? And then they did their thing. Why does he feel like he needs to blame the streets? And it's the same with Steele. Why does Steele feel like the streets is at fault? Or why do they think I'm defending the streets? Because I understand you can't wear $250,000 worth of jewelry in the ghetto.
Bro, this is what I'm saying, though. They didn't have to kill the man. If they'd have just robbed him, that'd have been one thing. They killed that man. They murdered him.
Again, they didn't. That wasn't the intent.
So you're showing up
and you know what your response
a peaceable robbery?
And you know what your response to that is? Instead of having empathy, well, he shouldn't have been dangling steaks in front of dogs.
No, I have empathy. I have empathy. I feel bad for his old lady. I feel bad for his kid. I feel bad for his mom. I feel bad for his fans. But you know what it is? You know what you're doing when you do that dumb ass shit.
Maybe he did. Maybe
he actually hold on, still. Hold on, still.
He want to go eat somewhere.
Who we talking about?
He has live stream videos, huh?
Who we talking about?
PNB.
Okay.
So he has live stream videos saying, "I'm gonna do what I want to do. I don't care what niggas saying. I'm gonna go where I want to with all my shit on."
Supposedly he from the hood, right? How is it that every single human being where I fucking grew up would never fucking ever? You couldn't dare them, pay them, bribe them, or threaten them to go fucking do that shit.
Hey, man, that's pride and ego, man. You know, nigga, like, I could go in any hood, I'm good. With that mentality, you see what happened, man. That was his mentality. I could go anywhere I want. I'm good.
And he said it openly, Punisher. He said it openly on different streams, talking about what would happen. And again, they said it was a tussle in there still. He just, like how you talk, Chris. Hey, Chris, you want to wear this expensive jewelry and you want to be where poor people could be at? You feel me? If somebody approaches you with a weapon, you just give them the jury. Simple as that. You taught Chris that. He decided he was going to fight for the jury, and somebody has a gun. It didn't work out in his favor. That's it.
No, you ain't supposed to argue with you ain't supposed to argue with a man with a gun in his hand.
Oh, you should be able to argue with a gun in your hand. You should be able to argue with a man with a gun in your hand and tell him whatever you want to. You
ain't supposed to wear $250,000 worth of jewelry in somebody else's hood, and you ain't got nobody in that hood with you.
Know what? To him, but Pun, he probably was ignorant to that. To him, he going to a restaurant.
No, he knew.
That's idiotic. That he's
from Philadelphia.
Stupid to survive till he's 30 in regular life.
So he should stop wearing jewelry.
That's incomprehensible.
No, you can easily tuck your chain. You know what I mean? But niggas got too much pride. They think
they got glove compartments in expensive cars.
You can leave your shit in the car, or you can just not wear it at all. You're going to Roscoe's in the middle of the hood, bro, and you're not from here. You're trying to show how tough you are.
The one mistake I would say. So let me ask y'all this: what about the boy Pop Smoke, who was up in Hollywood Hills, who was up in Beverly Hills, and they came up there and took his life?
I had nothing to say.
I'll be very frank. If you're going to an event that pulls that crowd, even if it's not in that location, it pulls the crowd of people from that location, and everybody from the area where they're all coming from knows that it's there. It's like I used to, when I was in Phoenix, we used to always leave the club at 150 by hard line. If we are in the car by 150, we're fucking kidding ourselves. And sure as shit, half the time, we're over here in Scottsdale, but such and such got a fucking event tonight, and someone got robbed in the parking lot because everybody from West Side knew there was an event at Scottsdale that night, even though Scottsdale's nice.
Yeah, G is a sympathizer.
How?
You're a sympathizer, dog.
I'm not. Pun,
it actually sounds like still making excuses. Still, it sounds like you're making excuses.
G ain't making excuses for nobody.
G is making a valid point, bro. He's making a valid point.
I'm not running a campaign for them brothers to get out of prison for their crimes. They committed a crime, you go to jail.
So, Pun, let me ask you this, Pun.
What's up?
You don't change your life immensely from when I first met you.
For sure.
You change your life. People's mentality change. What I'm saying is we have to evolve as a people at some point, dog. We can't be 40 and 50 years old doing the same shit we did when we was 20.
You can't be 40 and 50 years old doing the same shit.
But 20-year-olds today are also 20 years old.
Yeah, but it also depends on what you evolve, what you surround yourself around, who you surround yourself around. All that shit helps. If I would have stayed with my same homies, not saying the Ace boys, but the same homies that I was around, I'll probably still be in that mentality right now. You know what I'm saying? But I got around businessmen. I got around niggas who wanted me to step in the music business and guide me. So they was teaching me that every day, not teaching me street shit. I knew street shit. So my mind evolved into the music business, and that's what I want to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? So that's a difference. But if you're in the streets, every day, the niggas just talking about street shit, oh, we going to the hood day. Oh, we going to the hood barbecue. Oh, we going to Woo the Woo's day hood day. Woo woo. Like, that's where your mind gonna stay at, bro.
Let me ask you this.
Hold on, Steel. You got a nice car, Punisher. That thing is nice. I seen that thing. That thing is nice. Now, would you just go park it at Hawkins and just be waiting on your food, calm, like nothing could happen?
No, that's ego.
You know in the back of your mind, if you decided you wanted Hawkins that day and you was close, you know it's a gamble, right? You like, I gotta be really careful with how I'm about to do this.
Yeah.
It don't matter if you at the Hawkins. It don't matter if you at a community where people actually like your friends that you grew up with. You know the risk you run because it's poor people in the vicinity trying to get ahead. And all the stuff fun that we got away with, all the stuff we didn't get away with, we got lucky. Like I'm telling Manny, we didn't change our life. We got lucky. We could all be in still. You sold enough dope at that time when you were selling dope. Crack gave you 10 years. Pun was doing 1,000 things. He could even when I'm starting to hang with Pun, he could have got a lot of time for selling guns on the way. I used to sell PCP was considered attempted murder. I done shot niggas, everything that was. We lucky. We didn't get smart and change our life. We got blessed.
Bro,
we got
but it's not like you just want to rub. Ain't neither one of y'all want to rub no genie bottle and just got lucky. Y'all worked with what y'all got. Y'all worked with what y'all got.
That's a different conversation. That's a different conversation.
Tell him, Pete.
Y'all work.
When I come to California,
luck, but y'all work.
Listen to Pete.
Still, when I come to California, I rent a standard rental car like a Chevy Malibu every time, even though my mom says if you come out to visit, you can drive my car for free the whole time. Why? Because I got bitches in the hood I'm gonna stop and see. And I'm not taking her fucking Lexus SUV down there, so I'll come out of pocket my own fucking money and go down there in a goddamn Nissan Versa.
Because he's aware.
Right. You know how to move still. Still, you ain't finna wear $250,000 worth in the middle of goddamn Watts, bro. You know
Here's a great point. Shout out to Amber Walls. Black people who no longer live in the ghetto judge and talk down on the people who are still in the ghetto instead of sticking around and being an example of what righteous living is. And she's from that same part of Cleveland you from, still. So she talking about you.
So you know what? So hold on. So I'm supposed to just move back to Cleveland. She ain't talking about me. She don't know me to talk about.
No, she talking about people who moved from the east side of Cleveland, and then one day
she don't know me to talk about me.
Go be an example. Still, go be an example.
Is that Pun?
You know what?
He got lucky, Pun.
Okay, I'm gonna go be an example, Pun. I'm pretty sure. Go move back to them little fucked up apartments you used to be living in. Give all this shit up and just go live back where you used to live at. G, go live back where you go back to Watts, dog. Go back to Watts. And I'm gonna go back to East. As soon as y'all do that, I'd love to go back to the East Side.
Nobody asking you.
I do it still.
Yeah, nobody asking you to go back to the east side of Cleveland. Nobody asking Pun to go back to Compton. Hold on, still. Nobody asking me to move back. What I'm telling you is stop talking down like you forgot.
Hold on, I don't talk down. I never talk down nobody.
You act like you don't know. You act like I don't know how people be. I don't know people should be able to do. Then why can't people live their life?
Malone 2 Street.
Then why can't people live their life still without you selling them dope?
Hey, Pun, I'm gonna tell you this right now. She had a Coca-Cola sponsorship that was worth a whole lot of money. Worth a whole lot of fucking money.
Right.
Nigga ain't been able to get a sponsorship since then because he can say, I'm gonna keep it thorough, I'm gonna keep it real. Fucked off the sponsorship.
You fucked off the sponsorship for crippin'? You fucked off
know exactly because Coke's colors are red. Pun know exactly who I am. That's still like you know who I am.
Look, all you had to do is not talk about that shit for that one time.
Look, still know who I am. Punisher know who I am. Yeah. He know to a specific degree on how I feel about what I'm about. He know, so you can't tell him nothing new. Manny the only one surprised. Pete could imagine. I'm not gonna compromise nothing about me for nothing.
You don't have to compromise nothing.
Yes, it is.
He's not gonna compromise his crippin' for a check.
It's not nothing. I make enough money to take.
Let me ask you this.
I make enough money to take care of my life. I make enough money to pay the fucking rent at the studio. I make enough money to live fine. I make more money without for now than I ever have in my life. So guess what? I don't gotta do. Hold up, still. So I don't gotta do an extra thing to get another dollar. I don't gotta take penis at a puffy party still. I don't gotta let Pepsi tell me what to do still. I don't got to do nothing extra to make this thing work because it's working.
And all that's fine, bro. But I'm gonna tell you this: you could have made the sacrifice, dog. You could have made the sacrifice, bro, and just said, you know what? I'm gonna not do what they want me to do for a minute, just for this episode. You fucked off the bag, dog.
Fuck the bag.
You fucked off the bag.
I get both sides. I get both sides. But
to know, tell you, Pun, you ain't about to turn down those sponsorships. They tell you, Pun,
no, he not.
Tone it down while we got the sponsor. You go tone it down.
I'm gonna tone it the fuck down. But to know G is to know G. Like, you know what I'm saying? G ain't gonna do that.
I'm not.
And G just go do it just to be an asshole.
I'm not doing it to be an asshole. I'm not for sale.
This goes back to the question: is G too street? Are you too street?
Yeah,
he was too street for that Bud Light sponsorship we lost in episode 1. That much.
So he don't fucked up Bud Light, he don't fucked up Coca-Cola and all kind of other shit.
Damn,
1,000 things.
Hey, still send them my way, brother. I'll show how to do it.
Shout out to Sean Grigsby. You wasn't claiming 7th Street Watts Street at Paramount High School. Let's keep it 100. Of course I was, Sean. Of course I was, Sean. You just didn't give a fuck about where I was from.
Hey, niggas always try to air somebody out, dog. That shit funny.
And it's funny because I went to school with my homeboys and my homegirls. My homegirl Shauna went to the same school, different people from the set. But if you don't know, you don't know, Sean. So if you wasn't banging it, you ain't gonna know where I'm from.
Yeah, Sean, you ever banged on G? How do you know he wasn't banging it? Did you bang on G? If you didn't bang on G,
the confusion is that there ever thought that the Loke wasn't the Loke the whole time.
You know what I know, Sean Grigsby. I think that's a little homie. I think he was in my community. He worked at my record store.
Yeah, I've been for 7th Street Watts. I've been for 7th Street Watts since the 10th grade. It's just what it is.
I think try to expose G. Hey, don't be trying to expose her. Hey, G is definitely from 7th Street.
No question.
It's no question about that.
And I got courted on before BK.
It's no question about that.
I courted on a nigga that courted on BK. That courted on Vincent.
Cuz in high school. Hey, what year was you in high school, G? That was a long ass time ago. That's 30 years ago.
Right, 88, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
88 is y'all some dicks. Nah, because I
mean, 90,
93 to 97.
Don't be talking about 88 and 89 like that's just some old ass shit. That's when I graduated. Shit.
That's a pretty. Sorry. No, I'm at 19. Sorry.
Hey, still, so they wanted G to tone down his cripping in order for the
No, what it was, they just wanted him because G make these old fucked up titles and shit, dog. He's just doing extra shit to low. Resident Crip all in his thing. All he had to
marry that bitch
off for a minute. At least take it off while we get the sponsorship. Let's get the check. Then you do what the fuck you want to after that. Me, it's gonna be a limit. I'm gonna tell you what I'm not. It's gonna be certain shit like I ain't gonna do no Douglas shit. I'm not gonna do no shit to where I'm selling out somebody. But if they say still, we don't want you to curse for this episode or whatever while we got this sponsor, hell yeah, I'm gonna tone my vocabulary down. Hell yeah, this is a business. I ain't on this motherfucker just to have fun.
So G, they just told you to tone your shit down, not your cripping. Just tone the recklessness down.
I don't have no recklessness. I wouldn't know what to tone down.
Bro, you can look at every song title. You can look at every song title you got, brother. You got recklessness, my bro.
I don't think so. I think it's fair.
Kanye should have never married that bitch. Why do you got to say that? Why do you got to say that?
Because, what do you mean? Because the whole idea was you cannot turn a hoe into a housewife, and Kim Kardashian was honestly a hoe.
You could have called the song Not a Housewife.
She got kids, man. Her kids got to see that.
Her kids gonna see a sex tape with Ray J.
I know a lot of dirty ass, what's that got kids. That doesn't mean
shit. Yeah, her kids gonna see a sex tape with Ray J. What that got to do with me? I'm saying once you knew your kids had to see it, once you knew that your kids could see a sex tape with Ray J, I would have been careful before I married her. It made sense. Look, I don't do nothing more or nothing less, pun in my mind, right? Like he's saying, like with Tupac must die. Like that wasn't something I wanted to do, bro. That wasn't my goal, bro. Like what I wanted to do was tell the story. But again, if I just say Orlando Anderson, that reduces that man's life to just that moment. That's not that nigga whole life. That nigga had his own family, kids, all kind of shit. So I'm not telling this whole story. I'm telling the story.
Listen to his thing, man. Listen to his show description, how it start off. No Ceilings is hosted by rapper, Crip gang member, and social pundit Glass Malone. He couldn't just say No Ceilings is hosted by rapper Glass Malone. He had to throw Crip gang member up in there.
Crip gang member.
Extra shit like he just poking the bear.
How's that poking the bear?
And then he tell me all I care about is the money. Hell, man, we gotta care about the money. How motherfuckers gonna pay their bills?
How is that poking the bear? I'm from 7th Street Crip.
Yeah, but they ain't in the sponsorships business though.
What difference do it make if they know?
You don't see Pun talking about Crip this and Crip that all the time.
I got a question. Quick question, real quick. I gotta shut the room down just for one quick one. Snoop is now a judge on whatever the fuck that show is called where they sing.
Yeah.
How many times a show does he mention the fact that he gang bangs and reps Crip?
Snoop has transcended past cripping. He is a staple of just the ghetto. He's the epitome of everything. He's just a gangster. He's past cripping.
How many times does he mention that he's a gangster on that show?
I'm sure he's cousin said things. I don't know.
Bro, but Snoop has made it so commercial when he says it though. Like you don't even get offended by it.
I think white people think it's short for because.
He cuz Jillian Barbary. He was cousin at the Olympics.
I don't even think Blood get offended by that shit when Snoop said it. Hey, cuz.
Hey, so let me ask you this, G. Was Joe Buttons hating when he said that? When he said that, man, this is the hypocrisy. You know, Joe talk, this is the hypocrisy of the music industry. The biggest artist in the world by far is Snoop, and he's a gang member. That just show you, you know, everybody want to make like this some Illuminati shit or something like the industry just forcing motherfuckers to do certain shit.
Yeah.
You didn't hear what he said?
Hip hop is street urban culture. This is the first thing. It's street urban culture personified through the arts element. Gang banging in Los Angeles, one part of it is Crippin' and Blood, and like being a skater, like Tyler and them. Those are street urban culture things. They come with language, fashion, a million things. So it makes sense that the greatest hip hop artist ever is a Crip from Long Beach. It makes sense. Jay-Z from New York, who's a drug dealer from Brooklyn, from Marcy. It makes sense. But again, culturally, where you decide you're going to take the culture is everything. Look, Pun know like anybody else know. There was homies who go to church. There's homies who went to colleges. There's homies who got jobs. That don't mean they not Crips. It don't change you. Like, just because you hear the term Crip and you attach a negative connotation don't mean I got to live in your ignorance, bro. I don't have to live by your ignorance.
I see a couple of homies that go to my church every Sunday. I told you, TJ go to my church.
Ice Mike, Del Dog brother, rest in peace from Main Street, is a preacher. Niggas used to go to church, bro. You could do whatever you want to as a Crip. All you got to do is just respect what the simple things are. Be accountable. That's it. Be a man.
And take sponsorships so you can go back and help your community.
Yeah, but it's not. I didn't tell the sponsors no. They said no once they realized that I was a Crip.
It was too raw for them.
Yeah, they was like, this nigga too on.
You know what I should have did?
So one might argue that he was too street.
That part for a minute.
And guess who agreed with him? Steele.
I don't agree with everything that people say, but I just I know how to politic and maneuver enough to get the bag, then go do what I want to go do.
He didn't want to listen to you still? He didn't want to listen, man?
I've always listened to
Steele. G will listen to a certain extent, but
I listen to Pun and I listen to Steele.
Yeah, you listen to a certain extent.
I listen to a lot of extent.
But I mean,
I'm not going to not be me. I can't look.
Dog. Tupac Must Die could have been a way bigger record, bro.
No, it couldn't have been.
All he had to do was change something.
You change it. It ain't real. It ain't solid. It ain't dope.
I think it served its purpose. It got the attention that he wanted. It went viral. It brought me
a 6-figure podcast deal with iHeart. It brought my name into a place that had never been in hip hop ever. It did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
I think the name was very important on that one. If you called it like the Baby Lane story, it would have just floated out into the ether of anonymity because no one.
You didn't see the aftermath of all that shit. It was people calling. It was people talking shit. Tupac's family called this nigga.
There's an old expression called "no publicity is bad publicity," or there's no such thing as bad publicity.
And the reality is still, even when Corrupt cussed me out that night, and I just let him. I didn't disrespect OG. You were sitting right there. We was right in your kitchen. He was cussing me out. I didn't give him a hard time. I said, just look at it. He looked at it, and 2 days later, what did he call me and say? He said, I'm sorry. He said, you was right. This is not that. This is really dope. When Dr. Dre called me to the studio, and he was going off, he was talking shit, I said, you didn't look at it. Go look at it. He called me back, and he apologized. You was right. You're right. The Outlaws had a problem, but guess what? They looked at it and said I was wrong. Quick, same thing. He was cussing me out till he looked at it and he said he was wrong. So my job ain't to cater to nobody's ignorance. Look, I can't stop thinking the way I think. I can't stop giving an honest perspective. That would compromise. I have no purpose in the game at that point. The day I compromise who Glasses is and how I see the streets and my perspective is the day I have no business making no hip hop music. It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
Don't mess the bag up, dog. Don't fumble the bag.
Man, there's so many bags still that's gonna come in this life, dog.
Hey, but you do admit that you was clickbaiting though, right? You do clickbait with a lot of your music though.
I never clickbait. Listen.
You say these wild ass titles to get people to listen, and it's not really.
You do stuff with the intent of riling people up, dog. Like, what if Kanye had a whole beat pack he was about to send this to you when talking about his wife? You just fucked that all off.
No, but again, I'm not trying to rile anybody up. I'm saying the things that we say to each other in private, Pun. If we didn't all think Pete is a white man, right? Yeah. Still, do we not all agree that Kim Kardashian inter-community is looked at like a hoe?
Yeah, but she is one, ain't she?
Right. So then why are you upset at me that I'm saying the things we say in private publicly?
Because you put Kanye's name in there. You know that's his woman. That was his old lady.
He should have never married.
Why is he talking about me? You know Kanye was mad when you said that.
Sure, but culturally, I was
less mad than he was at her.
Yeah, I was taught culturally my whole life, right, that you cannot turn a hoe into a housewife. Do you believe it or not?
I believe that to a certain extent.
So why are you upset that I'm passing the information to another brother?
Should we have called this instead, is Kanye not street enough?
Exactly.
I think Kanye service. Well, Kanye ain't got to be street. He ain't that type of rapper.
Well, maybe if he was a little more street, would have married that bitch.
Shout out to Fats, the Vanilla Gorilla, because you whistleblowing secrets, private conversations. Not everything is meant to be repeated. Fats, hip hop is those barbershop conversations held publicly. That's what hip hop is. If we didn't talk the way we talk, using the slang we use, why not use proper English? Why not just put on regular clothes? Why put fashion and pizzazz into anything? That's what hip hop is. Hip hop is that private conversation held publicly. And I'm not saying nothing. Listen, even Tupac Must Die. I didn't disrespect Tupac. I didn't call him out his name in the song. I didn't say anything that wasn't a fact. But again, the conversation is if Tupac jumped anybody on this panel, anybody on this chat that call themselves from the streets, guess what? They would have felt the same thing should have happened to him. And that's who I speak for. Simple as that.
I think as far as the
you got a good point there.
Shout out to I-90N. Give her, she's a daughter, a wife, and a mother too. Then that's why she should think about the decisions she make, because she should have thought to herself, if I sleep with Ray J on tape, I may have kids. My mom may see. I may actually be somebody's wife. That's not my fault. That's her fault.
I'm gonna tell you something. I don't think Kim give a damn about her mom. See, I think her mom a pimp.
For sure, her mom a pimp.
So then how are you mad at her? So how am I clickbaiting a title when it's something we saw her on tape sleeping with Ray J and selling it for money? That's by definition what a hoe is. So
I was more so talking about the Tupac Must Die.
Even that, I listen. The song could have been F Tupac. The song could have been 1,000 other things that you feel when you mad because somebody jumped you. That shit is Shakespearean. I really was being gentle.
Are you gonna make a song about Puffy now?
Who?
Oh yeah, it's coming.
It's for sure coming. About Puffy now.
You know the movie I want to make talking about Puff. I told you about the movie.
It's coming for sure.
But again, man, I provide. Listen, as a hip hop artist, I provide the Compton, West, South Central, Inglewood, Greater Los Angeles streets perspective. That's my job. That's the only job to give the insights into the life we live. That's my one job.
Do the people know about your new song that's coming?
No, they have no idea. It's gonna be fantastic. But again, that's what it's supposed to be. Make sure y'all hit the like button. No Ceilings Live, the lunch hour. I'm supposed to be doing my live streams with Pun and Problem, but obviously they never, ever actually follow through. So I'm back here supporting my podcast, No Ceilings Podcast. It's a link below.
Bro, I never even knew you did this, bro.
Yeah,
I never knew you did
this is how I promote my podcast.
Why you never tell us? Why you doing that at home? You tell us you had to do it at the studio.
This is at the studio. Look,
and you doing it on Twitter. I told you to do this at the beginning. You told me no, gave me a hard time about it.
I still don't want to do it on Twitter because I'm trying to do the Twitter show with Arian Foster.
But you can still do the Twitter show. G, you know you could do more than one thing, right?
I can't because Pump won't actually handle the business, and Problem is bullshitting.
G old school, man. It's called multi-streaming. G, you could be on multiple platforms.
I've been waiting forever.
Well, we ready, man. I already got everything ready.
So yes, no, Manny, I don't think I'm too street. Still, I don't think I'm too street. I think I'm the reminder to make sure you remember on where you came from. Still, because without me, you would have sent into a white community and become a white man.
No, never that.
You would become a white man.
I will always be who I am, and
if it wasn't for me, for sure, Manny and Pun, you know for sure, Manny would become a white man without me. Without me, Manny would be white as hell. Manny would be voting liberal. He'd be voting liberal, trying to get niggas life in prison.
Manny be riding for Trump, and he hang with cops. Think
about it. If Manny or Still didn't have me in their life, they would be like they would be like Candace Owens, bro.
Hell no.
Candace Owens is crazy. I ain't gonna go that far.
No,
I ain't gonna go that far.
Hey, Francis would have that nigga voting liberal. He'd be voting for girls. He'd be just doing all kind of crazy shit.
Still is basically he's you, but somebody that's more corporate. You know what I'm saying? No. He gets it. He want that corporate shit. You too stuck in your ways to bend and fold a little bit. You know what I mean?
I want all the corporate shit, Punks. You don't know how long you're gonna have this stuff, man. I want to get all we can. You know what this podcast shit is like? Remember them old game shows where you go in the room with the money and the money floating around? You gotta grab all you can before that shit shut down.
And G don't want to grab shit.
They don't want to fuck with a nigga no more next year. I'm trying to get every little thing we can.
Hey, and G don't want to grab shit. G don't want to grab shit still.
G just want to keep it real. No, I'm gonna fuck their money, cuz.
I'm too gangster to grab money. I'm too crippin' to grab money, cuz.
I do care about the money.
This crib, I ain't grabbing no money, cuz.
So how far would you go for the money still?
Oh, I got some boundaries too. Like I said, no Douglas stuff. Huh?
What's your boundaries?
No Douglas stuff.
So you ain't. So what if they said they would? So what if they said they would give you $1 billion to do some Douglas stuff?
Some Douglas?
Hell no, they get stolen.
What if Puff say he wanted to slap your ass for $1 billion?
Puff get stolen.
He just want to slap your ass.
Puff will really make the news then getting that beat down he was gonna get. No Douglas stuff, dog. I don't.
What if he just wanted to slap your ass?
I'll
slap his ass.
He not gonna go slap you. He not gonna take nothing from you. He just gonna slap your ass.
Yeah, Puff get his ass knocked out. No Douglas stuff, dog. I wouldn't do no Douglas stuff, and I would never sell my people out. Like, you couldn't get me to go in there talking bad about nobody. No.
You talk bad about black people all the time.
No, I don't, dog. I just want to hold us accountable when we be on some bullshit.
You don't. They don't need you. They have a legal system in place without your fucking accountability. You just want to seem superior.
G, you gotta fill us in for the people who don't know. What did he be saying about black people?
Okay, him and Manny, prime example, right? Like, let's say what happened with P&B Rock. He'll be upset that I'm explaining what happened, right? He'll be upset that I'm explaining what happened, and he feels like he holding the person accountable because he talking shit about him. I'm like, no, he's going to go to prison. They gave him 32 to life. He'll never get out of prison. You don't need to say nothing when you understand the rules of the jungle. I don't have to say anything. I don't got nothing to say. I'm not trying to advocate for cuz to get out of prison. I'm not advocating for cuz to get in prison. That's already in place.
It's already in place.
If you kill somebody over a chain, you going to prison. Now, I understand if you starving. If you starving and you do it, I understand why it happened. So then I'll explain. Damn, that's a messed up situation. I feel bad. And he tried to come up. It didn't work out. Now he got life. Still, and Manny want to point down at niggas. Yeah, that's what your stupid ass get, dummy. And I'm like, nigga, that could have been all of us, Plum. We could have been in jail for 10 years and had felonies and our whole life changed. We got away with shit.
You wouldn't have been in the restaurant robbing nobody's chain either, though. Killing nobody. See, it's one thing.
There was a time people. There was a.
You know, my thing is about that.
I was way worse.
They could have stole on P&B and just snatched his chain from him.
You don't know what happened. Still, again, you don't know what happened. Still, that first off, I could have got way more time than just stealing a chain. I used to sell PCP every day.
Lots of it.
And it was considered attempted murder. I could have been in prison for 25 years. I didn't have to get lucky in hip hop saved my life.
Well, I could have been in prison too.
Hanging out in the streets and doing stuff, getting the shootout. He could have went to jail for 10 years. You selling dope in the 80s, you could have went to prison for 10 years. And our whole life has changed once you get out after 10 years.
That's a gap, though. I feel like Steele and Manny, just to put words in their mouth in front of their faces. Well, Steele's or Manny's face only pops up in the corner on occasion. I feel like they're kind of advocating that the community holds itself to a higher standard than that standard. Like, you know, like there's a gap between, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not ever going to tell poor people to stop trying to come up the best way they can.
There's too much stuff we can do, though, dog.
I think the question is that...
No, niggas always get smart when they get away with their crimes. Niggas always get smart when they get away with their crimes.
You can't tell niggas in the hood to stop doing something without offering them a solution, a realistic solution.
Niggas always get smart when they get away with their crimes and they didn't get the 10 years.
Yeah, we all made dumb decisions, man.
I'm gonna tell you this. I've been the number one dude to giving people opportunities out the hood. You know what happened every time I give a nigga opportunity? The one time you say no to their ass, you all kind of fuck niggas.
Niggas be damaged, bro. They go through a lot.
Trauma, brother. It's trauma.
Go through stuff, man. It's like you tell them, hey, man, I need you to do this. Oh, no, why don't you just give me the money?
Hey, man.
They just want the money, dog. It's like, and I'm going to continue doing stuff for people. I'm going to tell you what my focus is. Now, my focus is on the young people, on helping the kids out. That's the future right there. Seriously, that's what we need to be focused on.
How long did it take you to get to that mentality? Still, was you always like that, helping the kids out?
You know what, man? Probably about, I would say, man, probably like my late 30s, dog. I start really thinking about, like, you know what, we need to do something for the kids, dog.
So right around the time that your son was showing signs that he might have NFL talent.
I lived all 37 years like fuck them kids.
I would say my 30s, and I still do stuff for kids. I still do a lot of stuff for kids, man.
Right around the time
the whole
Chris
thing, I'm gonna tell you
like
this,
he
man.
might make
I'm
it to the league.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm trying to make happen right now. I want to get one of these brands, bro, to pay for you know how they used to have, you had community centers.
Yeah.
I want to get a community center though that got recording studios in it, dog, podcast rooms, cameras, and start showing little dudes. Everybody don't need a podcast, bro. We need people that know how to operate cameras. We need people that know how to edit. We need people that know how to work audio engineers and stuff. I want to open up a little thing where the little shorties can start learning some skills, bro.
Hey, we were talking about doing something
and
like
they
that
get college credit for it. You see what I'm saying?
10, like, you know, a few months ago, it just never happened.
So they graduate high school with college credit, man. I think it's a lot of stuff that we could do for the kids. And not just that, bro, but have like a journalism thing in there where you teach people how to, teach people that want to write, aspiring writers and stuff like that, bro. I think if we had that, bro, if we, like you said, you can't talk shit about people not giving no options, bro. Me and she always talk about stuff to give people jobs and stuff. I say that all the time, that if you built the place, if let's say they brought the oil industry out there, the car manufacturing industry out there, and they put an auto plant in Watts, and they said, okay, we're going to pay brothers $35 an hour.
The oil industry
I'm telling you, gangbanging would go down like this,
shut it down.
And people would be like, man, I ain't got time for that. I'm going to work to make my bread. You feel what I'm saying?
And I still going to gangbang when I get off.
Yep.
They might,
or they might
not.
Says, what if you got a job, a good job? He's like, so?
They doing it right. They doing it right now, nigga. Half the gangsters work at the oil refinery.
What that nigga from Linwood from Palm Oak said, shit, I'm gonna be a crip at work.
I'm gonna be a crip at work.
Think about this, Pun. Now they cripping is gonna be a little different though, because they ain't gonna want to jeopardize the shit they got going on. Wow. And I'm gonna tell you this: half of them niggas gonna move out the hood. They start making $30 an hour, they gonna be over in Lakewood with their shit. They gonna be over in Cerritos with their shit. They gonna be gone.
Well, look, this concludes No Ceilings Live Lunch Hour. We done ran and the people got to go back to work, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Click the link below. Subscribe to the No Ceilings Podcast. Executive produced by Charlemagne the God, iHeart, Black Effect. Be here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Pacific Standard Time. We here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday promoting the podcast, No Ceilings.
No Ceilings.
Eventually, we're gonna
some of us are here Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Going one day. I don't know when to stream.
We're gonna get it going, man. Hey, still, we need that Coca-Cola sponsorship on ours. We're gonna make sure G. We're gonna make sure G alive.
If you want that dog, make sure you don't put G on there. Hide his name.
Much love.
Hide his name from him. He gonna fuck it up somehow.